Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, whenever this video finds you. I hope you're having a rad time. I am the Figure Dude, and on this week's unboxings, I have a couple figures I've been looking for, a couple Target pre-orders I got to cancel, as well as a couple surprises that I was not expecting, nor was my wallet. Anyway, without further ado, let's talk about some figures. Dude. Like I said, I've got a couple pickups here, and you can see I got the Legends 16 Rey Mysterio, and I got the NWO Macho Man. What I was not expecting, though, was these two figures. Totally caught me by surprise. I wasn't even looking. I almost missed them. I got the Supreme Britt, and I got the Supreme Cody Rhodes, which these boxes are massive. You can tell they just completely overtake everything. But I'm going to get everything out of the package, look at the accessories a little bit, talk about them just a tad, kind of give you guys an idea of what we're looking at. But I was not ready for these at all. I knew that some people had found the Walmart exclusive Cody Supreme. I had seen people posting it on Instagram, and Target's app says that Macho Man and the Legend 16 are supposed to be coming October 2nd. And I have been checking Pop Finder, the inventory or stock tracker, whatever. And every Target in my area, I have 4 Targets in my area, like within decent driving range. And all of them said that they had Legend 16 in stock and Macho Man in stock. So I knew they were out there. I assume. I went to a couple of those Targets and they weren't on the shelves yet. So I went just kind of on a whim this morning. I had to pick up some groceries, and I made my trip to the action figure aisle, and boom, I found Macho Man instantly, found Rey Mysterio instantly, and then I was just kind of looking and noticed that Cody was sitting on the shelf, and there was some Brits behind them, and then there was 3 of each. There's 3 Codys, 3 Brits. I went through all of them to make sure I had the ones with the best paint apps, and just looking at the box real quick, they all look pretty good, but once I pop everything out of the package, I'll take a little bit closer look. So let me get those out of the package, and we'll see what we got. Okay, so we're going to start off with Rey Mysterio here. This is his attire from ECW One Night Stand, and I'm a sucker. Like, I don't know how, I'll probably say this many more times. I'm a sucker for ruthless aggression attires. So when I saw that this was announced, I popped. It doesn't matter how many Rey Mysterios we get. I'm excited for this one, or was excited. Still am excited that I got to add it already. There's the ruthless aggression one coming. That's more of his early ruthless aggression in the white pants with less tattoos. And then there's the Royal Rumble version of him coming that is red, that has kind of a weird looking head scan from what we have seen so far, but all of them I'm excited for. I know that we get Reys all the time, but I don't mind them. I don't need to get them all. I get ones on clearance because they are produced so much. So when I do, I wait for some. But really, I just love having the vibrance, the different colors, just having that on my shelf. So anyway, off my little Rey Mysterio soapbox here, this figure is sweet. It is a repaint, but first off, we got this robe. This robe is sweet. So I didn't realize it was going to be like rainbow multicolored like this. I thought it was just going to be gray. But they put way more time into this than I expected. On the back, it's got like a translucent kind of rainbow Mysterio logo. Like, they really went all out for this jacket. Like, I love it. I think it looks really cool. You can see there, it comes with the World Heavyweight title belt. It's not the shiny, it's the dull belt, but they still put like a gloss lay over it. It's fine. I have a few of these. I have plenty of these. And of course we get these hands. Whatever. I don't really care for those hands. I don't have a lot of points of issue with this figure. I'm trying to get the rope off. So they didn't use the same I don't remember all my Mysterio head scans. I do believe that this head scan is on the WCW Elite that we got with like the black and pink. I'm not positive. I'm pretty sure. It says ECW on the back. He's got his armbands. He's got his Mysterio logo on his elbow pads. And you can see there it says EG. His Eddie Guerrero like tribute armbands he was wearing then. The boots. So this is one thing I thought was really cool. So he does have... he's worn boots like this a few times that kind of go up higher. That look more like... like the AEW boots that come on Kenny Omega figures that kind of like extend upwards like this. They don't have a mold for that with Mattel, so they've just kind of been skipping out on that with Rey Mysterio. But you can see up where the boot articulation starts and stops, that they went above, so it kind of gives it that look. And it's a different look for his feet too, like having the kind of white boot. And I just think this figure looks really good. It feels good. Sometimes some of my Mysterios, their legs have kind of been loose. But this one, I think it rocks. I think it's a great representation of that event. The only thing I don't like with the Mysterio figures is that they keep using the big wrist cuffs. And they had Mysterio figures that had like the smaller wrist cuffs, which I have... I've swapped onto as many as I can, but I don't know why they keep using like the huge wrists, because they slide down and then they don't look good. Like they're too big. That's my only issue. And I wish we'd get some flipping open hands. But really, this figure's sweet. I love this. It is everything I was hoping for. I'm happy with that one. Next up is Ultimate Macho, and this is another, like, it blew me away. Some of the Ultimates I haven't loved because I like the idea of the articulation, but the butterfly joints and the diaphragm torso that moves around has just been loose. Like the Ric Flair Ultimate that I have, the butterfly arms just like flop around because the joint is really loose. And this Macho just moves great. The legs move well. Are they ball joint? Yeah. The legs are on ball joints. The torso is nice and tight, like not tight to where it's hard to move or stuck. Like the butterfly joints are good. I don't have really any complaints about this besides at what everyone else has had with the staining with the shirts, which is so disappointing. I don't know if the figure companies have gone back to using something cheaper that's staining, but we've seen it with a lot of AEW figures. We've seen it with a couple of WWE now, a lot of Mattel figures, but the staining it's frustrating because the shirts that we got are nice shirts. They're cool looking shirts. We got and they're like the nylon. I don't know what kind of material this is, but it's like the thin material, so it goes on nice and it fits tight, and there's no Velcro on these either, so they just slip on and they fit really well, but they stain, which is really frustrating. I don't want my figures stained, especially it's an Ultimate. It was $32.99, so about the same as all the other Ultimates, but when you're paying that much for a figure, you want it to, I don't know, you want it to be good. You don't want staining. You don't want quality issues. And I happened to hit my target right when, I don't know, they stocked everything. It was loaded. So I did get my pick, and there was like 4 Machos. There was so much. So I took my time. I went through, I looked at all the head scans for everything. And as far as quality, they really weren't bad. There was like a couple little specks of like some paint runoff, but for the most part, it all looked pretty good. So this Macho comes with I don't even know what these hands are. The head scans are all, so this angry or like scowling head scan, serious head scan kind of, is not new. I like the head scan a lot. I don't remember the first time you saw it. Maybe it was with his first Ultimate. But it's a good head scan. His hair is darker. He had like black hair then, so that is represented on the figure. We get this tongue out head scan, which a lot of people have had criticism for it. I don't really know. I don't know what it's like, why we got it. I don't recognize him doing this face. If there was the moment when he did it, I think the likeness is fine, and I think with the bandana and sunglasses on, it looks okay. I don't know. I think it's fine. I just don't really know why we got it. Let me get these sunglasses on here. The bandana isn't like tight on there. It more just kind of sits on, but I'll get a comparison with his ringside Wolfpack one. That bandana doesn't stay on for shit. That thing just falls right off. And then the third head scan we got was the smiling one, which is probably the one that I'm going to stick on. Which I think the likeness for these is fantastic. If we could just get a bunch, I'm sure we'll get more machos. So if they want to just keep giving me these head scans, I am cool with that. They do kind of sit high on the neck pegs. So that is, I've noticed that with all of them. Like the Legends one, the Ultimates, like it does kind of sit high, but it's not bad. So to remedy my staining, I am going to try, I've never tried to wash my shirts. I know people suggest that. I might give it a try, but I was going to do a Macho Man like this a long time ago. So I have this custom shirt. So I'll probably just throw this on for the time being. I know it's not going to stain. This is another one from Threadhead. I got this a long time ago. But I'm just going to put that on my Macho. I'll be okay with that. And then lastly, so they redid his tassels on his boots. Finally. These look great compared to like the little plastic pieces that they've been putting around. So since he sits high and the peg's kind of weird, his head slips down like that. It could be worse. But overall, I love this Macho. Without talking about the staining, I think this Ultimate is great. I like his first Ultimate with his like white coat and that cowboy hat, that attire, but the articulation, that's one that's kind of loose, so that kind of lost some points with me there. But this one, I think it feels great. It looks great. Here's the comparison with the Wolfpack one. So the Wolfpack one, you can see the stuff I was talking about. I mean, he's bigger. These Macho Ultimates are smaller than his Elites a little bit. The Wolfpack head is huge. It's like the same scan, I want to say, but is really big. I will probably head swap it. Hopefully I can get that bandana. I might just put like a dab of super glue or something, put it on a figure, but I think I have no complaints really. I like all the Machos. I like the NWO stuff, so if it's NWO, give it to me. I will add it to my collection. Can't wait to get a Vincent to add to the collection. All right, on to the Supreme figures. And first off, we're going to take a look at Britt Baker. And I think I have all the accessories up here. I did misplace the Cody shirt. There's a shirt that comes with Cody. I can't find it. There's so many accessories that came with these flipping Supreme figures. These are pretty sweet. So this Britt Baker, first off, the head scans blow away what we have gotten so far. I bought the first series the Unmatched Series 1, I think it was, Britt Baker, and that head scan blows. There's no way around it. That first head scan, and I will show the comparison at the end, that figure was very disappointing. It just didn't look right to me. This one, however, this figure's tight. So here she is, she's in her wrestling attire. We got the resized belt, and I think the belt's fine, and I don't remember exactly. I'm pretty sure she has another Unmatched series figure coming that is with a different belt because they changed it. Like they resized, like Jazzware resized the belt and then they changed the women's belt completely. So we won't even have this version for a long time, but this belt looks way better than what we originally got. She comes with multiple hands, plenty of hands. We've got her gloved hand. We've got her hand that had the cast on it. I think she like broke her wrist at one point. Something like that, maybe. And then we just got plain fisted hand. We've got another fist for the other side. Focus. No, whatever, it's fist, you got it. We got the obligatory AEW microphone. Of course. The head scans, so let's get up close here. This one's kind of a smirking head scan, which I think looks good. The likeness is way better. They got like the full makeup on her. I think it's way better than what we had gotten. I did not get the Blood and Guts figure. I'm not sure if I still want, like I like they're fine. AEW just makes so many figures that I'll probably end up not getting those. Maybe if they're like clearance on ringside down the line, but I'm good with just getting the, plain figures, I guess. Here's her another head scan, and we got 3. So this one's just kind of a straight face. Again, I think all these head scans look really good. And then this last one, she is like full on smiling. So I think this smiling one is like the worst of the 3, but I still think it's a good head scan. I really like the smirking head scan. That's probably what's going to stay on there. For hands, obviously we have like this plain one, but we got her like pointing DMD hand, which I think is really cool. As far as articulation for the Supreme figures, so she has toe articulation, which, is hit or miss. Some people like it, some people don't mind it, some people don't like it, which I don't know, I think is weird. I don't think it hurts. It does annoy me when we do get toe articulation and it's loose, which these are not. Like I said, all the joints are pretty good. I don't really have a problem with articulation. The back of her attire says Britsburg. And then it's the white attire. And I think the chase we got is like this, except it is in like the black or Britsburg attire. And then we have pinless arms, and on both of these, on this and Cody, the arms are higher quality. They're not floppy at the elbow joint like the other ones have been. I don't know if they use a new plastic or what they did, but the arms are much better. Way better. Way more sturdy. So let's swap some pieces around here. And these Supremes are essentially just 2 figures. So if you move parts around enough, you can have, you could figure out how to get 2 on the shelves. The swappable arms might be something you got to figure out a little bit. But there will be someone out there, some customizers. Maybe said customizers will be me. But not in this video. We'll get there eventually. So the legs come off. The arms come out. And they pop on, let's see. Okay. That's where we're at so far. Popped on nice and easy. And the way they make it, there's multiple ways that you can even put these together. She comes with a shirt to put on. So I'm not gonna put the shirt on just to save some time. Here's the Britsburg shirt she comes with, which it probably is gonna stain, so I'll just not put that on. Let's see. Almost done here. Okay, here we go. So here she is in her street attire. I wonder how they're going to do. I don't know. Have they? I don't think they've announced other women for the Supreme line. Maybe. I don't know. Did they announce a Thunder Rosa? I can't remember off the top of my head, but this Britt works because the top doesn't need to match the second set of legs. A lot of women's attires, their top and bottom match, go together at the very least. And I don't know how they're going to make that work, if they're going to do like a street attire for all the women with a ring attire, whereas like the men, they can just swap out the legs, and for the most part their torsos are just uncovered, so you don't need to have matching up top. But the Britt works is awesome. I think it's a really good figure. You can see on her on these legs, she has like it says BB on the belt, which I think is really cool. And then again, it's the same upper. This coat is just put on. The arms look good. These are double jointed as well. Britt Sprig on the back. I showed you the shirt. And then you can just as easily take these legs back off, and they do pop off pretty well. I hope it doesn't get loose over time. You know, that happens sometimes when you swap figures or swap pieces. So again, here, looks good. Get it to stand. Get it to focus. Of course. But yeah, this Britt is awesome. Once they announced these Supremes, I was like, man, I don't want to pay extra, but it comes with so much stuff. I love these figures. They were $42.99. I think they're about that on ringside, but obviously you're not paying for shipping and whatnot. So I do notice some paint over here. You can see like on the legs, some of the skin tone didn't make it all the way down. That's kind of annoying. I haven't really noticed any other issues though, so you win some, you lose some. That's not the worst thing in the world. Yeah, so when they announce these Supremes, I'm just probably going to stick to getting the Supreme, and I'm not a completionist with AEW, and they do repeat a lot of characters, which makes sense. Britt Baker especially, so I'm probably, if a superstar gets a Supreme, I'm going to stick with that. The Malachi Black is coming. The Kenny Omega is coming. That one looks awesome. I'm very picky with my AEW figures now because we get so many. But this Supreme, I think you should definitely pick it up. With as far as picking up, you know, sometimes I think they're good figures, but you don't necessarily need to add them to your collection. This is one you should definitely add. I think this Britt is awesome. And to finish things up, we have the Cody. And before I go any further, I forgot to put Britt next to her unmatched figure. So I just want to give you that real quick. And just put these side by side. Good Lord, this Supreme is so much better. You know, maybe not at standing. Damn. Come on. Okay, here you go. You can just see it right there. Look at those head scans. That first head scan is absolute cheeks. I'm glad that we fixed this. The coat is kind of big. It's okay, but yeah, this Supreme is significantly better. Anyway, on to Cody. This is ballin'. I wanted the normal release because I wanted those American flag boots. There's the Walmart exclusive as well. And my fingers are crossed that I can run across that on clearance sometime. If I do see that on clearance, I'll add it, but it's really not different besides the paint application on the pants. So I was happy I found this one. This is the one I wanted, and if I get a chance to pick up that Walmart exclusive, I will. But we're going to get into this a little bit. The jacket looks great. It looks exactly like his entrance coat. The arms are double jointed. They pop in and out just like Britt Baker. We got the open hands. Here are his double jointed arms. And the double jointed arms, like I said, they fixed that middle joint, and they're way more sturdy. They're way better. We got the mic holding hands. Obviously, we got a mic. We got fisted hands. And then we've got the head scans. So let's just take a look here. See, it's not soft goods. It's hard plastic or rubber. Not hard plastic. We've got the Nightmare logo on the back. The paint apps on mine look pretty good. You have any issues? The head scans are fine, but the head scans with the ringside exclusive, that TNT one, those are the best. I like that they gave us new head scans, but I don't think they improved. I think the other ones we've gotten were stellar. So they had a lot up to work up against as far as their head scans, but really they're not bad scans. I'm going to swap the coat off, and it just pops off so easily. We've got some nice butterfly joints here. I do have the Cody pre-ordered, the Mattel Creations one, the Ultimate Edition, and they have got some stiff competition to live up to, because this is a really good Cody. We got weight belts, and I don't remember which weight belt is technically supposed to go with which attire. I'll show this off this first one here. So we've got the blue attire, the American flag boots, and then we've got the white Nightmare belt. There's just so many options with these. The butterfly joints are really good. Again, they're tight, so they're not just flopping around like my Ric Flair. The crotch, where it pops into the crotch piece, is good. It doesn't flop around like some of them. Some of them are like the torso is stretched out, so it's really loose, which is annoying because, I mean, you can't pose it, can't stand on your shelf like that. The neck tattoo. So Metal Driver did a review, and I think he said he thought it was a running change. So the neck tattoo on mine is painted in white, and I guess some of them did not have the painted in white. It was a skin tone there. So I don't know if that was a running change that they fixed with the store run as opposed to the run that like the pre-order run, but they did fix that. It looks good. Let's take a peek at the other head scans. So the head scan, I mean, it's okay. It's fine. It's kind of like that Brit one, like the same expression where he's like kind of smiling. It's okay. And then this one, I don't really like this one. I think he looks creepy. Oh, we'll find a use for that one. And then we'll just swap over here real quick. We've already gone on for a bit. Yeah, so this one is a little bit loose. Not terrible, but it's a little floppy. I've noticed with a lot of things, like, I don't know, just small things with AEW where, like, not all, like, all the pieces are swappable, but they're not all quite swappable. Like, some of the heads are loose. The ball pegs for AEWs are smaller for the heads, so, like, I don't know. They're on the right track. There's just some small things that need to be worked out. We've also have, so this is the other weight belt. This probably goes on that blue attire, I guess. It says American Nightmare, real small. Or American Dream, excuse me. And then we've got the logo he typically has. And this is what a lot of his early Dynamite and his New Japan attires had. They just a bunch of color swaps of this design. These boots have the Nightmare logo, which the Walmart exclusive you get 2 pairs of boots. They both have this Nightmare logo. So I wanted the American flag boots, but yeah, this figure's sweet too. I'm really excited to see what Mattel does, because putting theirs up for pre-order right before the Supremes came out, and then building up for a year basically before we get it, they have a high bar to come up. high bar to meet with the Supreme. The Supreme is great. But you can see here's the TNT ringside exclusive. This head scan is, I love this head scan. I think this just is perfect for his likeness. I'll probably pop some of the old head scans onto this Supreme. Get them right next to each other. About the same height, maybe. Got a little fluffier hair on the Supreme, but yeah, this Supreme figure's great. Britt's great. Macho Man's great. I would suggest picking up all of these. If you don't care for repaints, you don't care for Ruthless Aggression specifically, you can pass on Rey. It's a Legends figure. All those Legends just flood. Targets in general just flooded. So if you want to wait on these, I'm sure you could wait on all of these. But I suggest getting these Supremes. They are pretty sweet. And we've only got 2 so far. So easy to complete this series so far. All right, that is just about going to wrap things up. I actually forgot that I had a couple more things that I picked up. I don't need to review these because I have already taken a little peek at them on the channel. But I also got a couple more Batistas on clearance. These were on clearance for $14.99 each, which I figured they would be on clearance coming in, or since Macho Man was coming in. But I went and I looked at my Target Sunday night to see if the Legend 16 had shown up, and I've been waiting for these Batistas to clearance, so I grabbed a couple. There was a few more there, but I don't have a lot of ideas left for what to do with these torsos. I am going to put one of these torsos on the Hall of Champions figure. Excuse me. And then the other one I'm just going to save in case I get an idea for another Batista Ultimate Custom, but I mean, I think I have 4 that I showed you guys already, but that is going to be all for this week's figure finds and unboxings, reviews, whatever you want to refer to it as. But like, share, subscribe. I always appreciate all of that. And remember, you can't buy happiness, but you can buy figures. Figure Dude out.